Socialism destroys nations, but always remember, freedom unifies the soul. To safeguard American liberty, after losing 60,000 factories under the previous two administrations, America has now gained 12,000 new factories under my administration. 6 days ago, I replaced NAFTA and signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. But unlike so many who came before me, I keep my promises. We did our job. We must always remember that our job is to put America first. Over 130 legislators in this chamber have endorsed legislation that would bankrupt our nation by providing free taxpayer-funded health care to millions of illegal aliens, forcing taxpayers to subsidize free care for anyone in the world who unlawfully crosses our borders. These proposals would raid the Medicare benefits of our seniors and that our seniors depend on, while acting as a powerful lure for illegal immigration. That is what is happening in California and other states. Their systems are totally out of control, costing taxpayers vast and unaffordable amounts of money. This will be a tremendous boon to our already very strongly guarded southern border, where, as we speak, a long, tall, and very powerful wall is being built. Early next year, we will have substantially more than 500 miles completed. My administration is also taking on the big pharmaceutical companies. We have approved a record number of affordable generic drugs. Before I came into office, if you showed up illegally on our southern border and were arrested, you were simply released and allowed into our country, never to be seen again. My administration has ended catch and release. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. I am thrilled to report to you tonight that our economy is the best it has ever been. As we speak, a long, tall, and very powerful wall is being built. We have now completed over 100 miles and have over 500 miles fully completed in a very short period of time. Real median household income is now at the highest level ever recorded. Under my administration, 7 million Americans have come off food stamps. I am also calling upon members of Congress here tonight to pass legislation finally banning the late-term abortion of babies. From the instant I took office, I moved rapidly to revive the U.S. economy. Thanks to our bold regulatory reduction campaign, the United States has become the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world, by far. As a result of our unprecedented efforts, illegal crossings are down 75% since May, dropping 8 straight months in a row. And because Congress was so good as to fund my request, new cures for childhood cancer, we are working to finally end America's longest war and bring our troops back home. We are restoring our nation's manufacturing might. The unemployment rate is the lowest in over half a century. If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success. And we will always protect your Medicare, and we will always protect your Social Security, always. Last week, I announced a groundbreaking plan for peace between Israel and the Palestinians. Tragically, there are many cities in America where radical politicians have chosen to provide sanctuary for these criminal, illegal aliens. Today, the ISIS territorial caliphate has been 100% destroyed. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come. Thank you very much.
It all just went right down the toilet, is where it all just went. He has a same-sex partner? He? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he's married to him, yes.
Well, then I don't want anybody like that in the White House. So can I have my card back?
I don't know. He signed it. We could go ask.
I never knew that.
Well, so the whole point of it is, though, if he's a human being, right? Just like you and me, and should it really matter? That's what...
Well, he better read the Bible.
He does, and he says that God doesn't choose a political party. Because...
Why does it say in the Bible that a man should marry a woman then?
Well, I totally respect your viewpoint on this. I so totally do. But I think that we were not around.
How come this has never been brought out before?
It's common knowledge.
I never heard it.
We can talk to someone if you need to talk to them about this. I don't know the rules on this or not, but I guess what I would like you to just dig deep inside and think, like, should it matter if it's a woman or if it's a man or if they're heterosexual or homosexual if you believe in what they say? That's my question.
It all just went right down the toilet, is where it all just went.
And that you have a total right to your opinion, and I am not trying to tell you to think otherwise, but we'll ask what they want us to do. But I just ask you to look inside your heart, because you sound like a Christian woman to me, and I'm a Christian woman, and my God wants me to love everybody. I do, yep.
So you must not believe it then if you think it's okay for somebody to be married to a same-sex person.
No, I think we're just interpreting it different, and that's okay, because everybody gets to have their own beliefs. But what I teach my son is that love is love, and we're all human beings.
You know, I don't think religion belongs to one political party, and when I go to church, the scripture I hear has to do with protecting the poor and spending time with the prisoner and healing the sick and caring for the stranger, which to me is another word for immigrant. It has a very clear set of moral and policy implications, none of which are things I would associate with the right wing. Christianity to me is about humility, it's about love. And if we want to put those values into political practice, at least by my lights, they lead us in a very progressive direction.
I'm an emergency doctor. I'm worried about the plans they talked about last week of maybe cutting Medicare, and then the rollout today of cutting Medicaid. I work in one of the poorest counties in Michigan, and my patients depend on expanded Medicaid. So how is that going to affect my patients?
I hadn't heard about cutting some Medicaid.
Cut Medicaid, yeah. The head of CMS announced the plan to let states file for waivers so they could get block grants. So that would essentially cut the amount of money going to the states. So that would cut federal Medicaid funding. Is that a good idea?
Actually, when I was governor of Indiana, we got a waiver from the Obama administration that actually allowed us to expand Medicaid coverage in the states.
Right, but now they're talking about scaling back the Medicaid expansion that we got with the Affordable Care Act, and that 680,000 Michigan or 600,000 in Iowa. I mean, a lot of people got health care.
We expanded coverage in Indiana.
Right, but I'm just talking about the president and your administration right now, what they're doing. Right now, they're cutting Medicaid.
Those are waivers for states that didn't take expansion.
No, it's for people who took expansion money too. I mean, your administration just announced this, they rolled it out today, and it's going to affect millions of people across the country cutting Medicaid. I mean, is that a good idea, or is that a bad idea?
I think you're oversimplifying.
Well, I think it comes down to that for the people I take care of all the time. I mean, people I see in the emergency department that can't get primary care doctors, you know, once they got Medicaid, they could get primary care doctors. They stayed out of the ER. They actually worked more. They actually contributed to our community more. Now, if we tell those people, sorry, you don't get your health care, I mean, that's going to be a real negative in their lives.
Yeah. Well, if you check out what we did when I was governor of Indiana, the Healthy Indiana Plan, which was the first consumer-directed waiver that was given ever. We expanded coverage. We used consumer-directed health care. People were able to take more ownership of their own health care and expand it.
I mean, I think if the Trump administration you do want to expand Medicaid, that'd be great. But the problem is they're contracting Medicaid.
It's a matter of improving. I think Medicaid, you know, is a lot of problems.
It's been a godsend to the patients I serve in one of the poorest counties in the state of Michigan. And I know people here who work in Des Moines, friends of mine who work in the ER in Des Moines will tell you Medicaid is a godsend. It's their lifeline. People with diabetes who can't afford insulin.
Well, I think our vision is for state-based innovation and reform to be able to improve.
Reform and innovation in the setting of cuts equals less people with health care.
Yeah. I respectfully disagree.
Okay. Okay. Well, I encourage you to make sure that we don't cut those folks off of Medicaid because they need it. Okay.
Thanks for Thanks for your career, your care.
All right. All right. Thanks.
Really, thank you, man.
Thanks for talking. Medicaid, yeah, they had a...
You often counsel your members to be dignified in their response to and take the high ground. Did you step on that message by tearing up?
No, I did not. I tore up a manifesto of mistruths. It's very hard for us to get you to talk about the issues that we are working on, H.R. 3, infrastructure and the rest. He misrepresented all of that. It was necessary to get the attention of the American people to say, this is not true, and this is how it affects you. And I don't need any lessons from anybody, especially the President of the United States, about dignity. Dignity. Is it okay to start saying 4 more years in the House of Representatives? It's just unheard of. Is it unheard of for the president to insult people there who don't share his view, as well as to misrepresent, present falsehoods? Some would use the word lie. I don't like to use the word lie about what he is saying. So, no, I think it was completely, entirely appropriate. And considering some of the other exuberances within me, the courteous thing to do. I extended the hand of friendship to him, to welcome him as the President of the United States to the People's House. It was also an act of kindness because he looked to me like he was a little sedated. He looked that way last year, too. But he didn't want to shake hands. That was that. That meant nothing to me. It had nothing to do with my tearing up. That came much later. And, a speed reader, I just went right through that thing. So I knew what was coming when I saw the compilation of falsehoods. But then when I heard like the first quarter or third, then I started to think there has to be something that clearly indicates to the American people that this is not the truth. And he has shredded the truth in his speech. He's shredding the Constitution in his conduct. I shredded his state of his mind address. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you.